I'm Richard from Roll20. I'm here with Liam Gulliver. He's one of our mentors. And we're going to talk a little bit about Roll20 and his RPG history, life,
Yeah,
passion,
yeah.
whatever you want to say. So, Liam, how old were you when you started playing RPGs?
Um, I'd probably say I was probably about 14, 15. So I've been playing just over 11 years.
What was your first game you played?
It was actually D&D. In fact, it was third edition D&D. And it was a friend's campaign that he'd started writing. Unfortunately, I was only around for an adventure, and at the time I had that much going on. I didn't really get to grips with it, and then I kind of had a big break. And then a friend when I started work when I was 17, and a friend that I was working with introduced me to another one of his who were running D&D, and the first proper experience I had was the Shackled City adventure path with D&D
Yeah.
3.5. Um, and now this is my first DM experience with the campaign I'm running now. So what I've started is the Shackled City, running that
Oh,
as my
nice.
first DM as well.
So kind of bring it full circle.
Yeah.
And have you always played just D&D? You ever played anything else?
Um,
Tabletop
Mostly
wise.
D&D. From an RPG point of view, it's been D&D. It's been pretty much every iteration of the Star Wars role-playing games. So the
Okay.
D6, the D20. Looking forward to the Edge of the Empire coming out.
Yeah.
Um, as far as general tabletop games go, over on the shelf behind me, I've got many, many editions of Catan. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a big Catan.
um,
Love Catan.
yeah, I've got the Star Trek Catan and all that as well, and I've also got Relic, which is the Warhammer 40k version of Talisman.
Okay.
So I've got that. What else have I got over there? Um, Pandemic as well, which myself and my partner really enjoy playing. Um,
Is it the the older pandemic, or is it like the new
it's the 2013 edition, so I think
2013?
it's the new one.
The
Yeah.
new one, yeah. Cool. I guess when did you first discover Roll20?
Um, I had another break about for a few years, and about near Christmas time, just before I started playing again, and a friend of mine said, "Right, well, let's play a game online," and he introduced me to it, and then I've kind of been using it ever since, really. So, I play around a tabletop playing encounters every Wednesday,
Yeah,
and then this is the my campaign I do entirely in Roll20 because it's for as a tool it's easier to organise everybody around, which is the best thing really.
yeah,
It means we
exactly. I
don't have to
mean,
find a location, we don't have to travel,
yeah,
and that's it.
for sure. I know you're a mentor, so tell me what was your reasoning? What's the thing that made you wanna?
There's a couple of reasons. I mean, one, first and foremost, I'm a software developer myself, and I like to contribute to projects that are I can see the real workmanship there, and and then there is that with Roll20. It's something that it's a pleasure to use, and if there's software there, regardless if it's free or whatever, um, if it's worth spending money on, I'll spend money on it.
Yeah.
That's a no.
I
Um,
love that.
the other thing was I the really big selling point was I like to make big maps. Which means bigger files and all of that. That's one of the other things. And with all the mentor stuff, it helps me contribute to you guys without, as much as I would like to be behind the scenes with you guys, it helps me at least contribute to you guys with an ideas point of view, along with other mentors and things like that, and have
Yeah.
that open forum. Since the API came out, I've dabbled with the API a little bit every day. I mean, I've not got around to writing any of my own scripts yet, but I've been tweaking other people's for use in my game. And then at some point in the near future, we're going to run one of our sessions on the dev server, just so we can go, look how cool this is, look at what else we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, even it's just little things. Like I've been talking to my players about things like the script somebody wrote for managing your hit points, like and status counters and things like that.
Yeah.
So automatically marking as bloody. It's like, well, that's incredible. Yeah. It's such a little thing, but it makes
Right.
such a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it's the API for me is something where it takes more of the clicks away and more of the manual intervention, so we can focus on the role play of the game.
Yeah. It's like what's your something you wish Roll20 had that it doesn't that would make your life easier or better?
It's a good question. I'd probably, well, to be fair, I think the biggest thing is having the API on the live server
Yeah.
more than anything. That would make things a hell of a lot easier. And I'd probably say on sort of a smaller scale, the ability to measure or have a measurement in inches as opposed to feet.
Okay.
I know it's only a small thing, but it's kind of something like I know me and quite a few friends were talking about playing 40k using Roll20, and everything in that is in inches and things like that. Because all right, it's not so much of a burden moving around to play D&D and finding a place,
Yeah.
but when you've got big cases of models and things like that to
Yeah.
cart about, it's another thing entirely. Whereas this would be ideal.
For sure. All right, cool. Okay, so we're playing 3.5. What is it? I know you've obviously have a lot of experience with tabletop games. What is it about 3.5 that makes it what do you like about the game, the rule set, the
3.5. I like the expansiveness of it. Where with 4E, you kind of got more.
pigeonholed?
Yeah, you've got things that you think like with 3.5, you've got listen, you've got spot, you've got hide, you've got all of those things. With 4E, they're rolled into perception.
Yeah.
Whereas I like to say, I want you to be making this check, or the players turn around to me and say, right, I listen out for this, and things like that, and that kind of thing. And it seems with 3.5, the system's focused more on progressing your story, whereas 4th, I think, is more tactical combat orientated.
Yeah.
But I don't mind playing either. I mean, 3.5 is a lot of fun because it teaches you about managing your resources as a player as well. Because with 4, you get at-wills, you get your encounters, you get dailies. With 3.5, you get charges in your spells, and once they're up, you don't get any of them back until you have an extended rest.
No,
So,
that'd be nice.
I kind of forced our players into a situation where they had no spells in the last adventure. So we had 3 or 4 sessions that took place over 6 hours. But within the first couple of sessions, they'd used up all their abilities. So
What are we gonna play today?
today we'll be joining session 8 of my D&D 3.5 campaign of the Shackled City, and we'll be starting just at the start of the second adventure.
Nice.
So we'll be seeing how that goes.
Or do you want to toot your stream?
I can too. Yeah. I mean every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. GMT or BST. BST at the moment. We do live stream our sessions over on Twitch, and you can get that at www.twitch.tv/Everoth, spelled EVOR. Hang on, no. Should have been prepared for that. EVOROTH. There we go. Okay, so onyx tiles cover the floor of the bathhouse, and the vaulted ceiling rises to a height of 20 feet. A 25-foot diameter sunken basin is set into the floor against the south wall, and water fills it. A translucent crystal dome above the pool allows light to enter and creates water reflections on the walls. Several smaller areas of land. Several smaller areas lead off of the main room. However, bead curtains and doors block your view of these areas.
Horgar will walk into the middle of the main chamber, plant his warhammer head down on the floor, rest his hands on the top of the hilt, and just shout out, "Aurak Stonehaven! By Moradin, come here, I want a word with you."
Oh.
Alright, enters the room from this northern area up here, which my ping didn't do anything with, and enters and says, "Who dares come into my establishment, shouting all sorts of rubbish about Moradin? What do you want?"
We seek your assistance with the matter concerning dirty greenskins that are pestering this city. And I was told that you're the man in the know. Somebody else passed on a message that you may know more about this, or at least know roughly where we can find their likely hiding place.
As I said, the degenerate creatures that wallow in their own filth, that's all I know or care to know about goblins. Okay, you do indeed get some form of inkling that the dwarf in front of you is either lying or he's trying to evade your questions.
I also say, Dwarfen, is there any way you would mind just because we obviously are borrowing the authority of the city guard here, make our own inquiries and have a look around?
You might have a look around, but I don't see any form of warrant here that says you can come into my establishment demanding to see this, demanding to see that.
Well, I'm only asking it. Yeah.
Alright, you can tell that captain to come here himself if he wants to have a look.
I'll step forward and in a low voice I'll say, "Look, dwarf, I know you're lying. Just, it'll be better for you in the long run if you help our investigations now. Than
Lying?
Than have us find anything wrong and bring you into custody."
Lying? Ha! Get out! What proof do you have? Get out of here now! Lot of you, before I come and get the guard myself.
And I got
Yeah, off you
+4.
go. In the meantime, we'll do our search and do our conduct.
I don't think you will. Now get out before I call them over.
Oh dear, this has gone horribly wrong very quickly.
Kill him.
Okay.
Aurak turns to you and goes, "Look, what are you still doing here? You can either get out, or I'll get the town guard and I'll have you removed."
Well, okay. Would you mind we use his services in the meantime?
I have no issue with that, as long as you've got the coin.
Okay, how much is it to base my Phoenixian here is due?
Your Phoenician? I don't want that filthy beast in my pools.
He growls.
You growl all you like.
I think you need to apologise.
You can make your filthy animal wait outside.
No.
Then you can leave as well.
Make me.
Okay. He will. Give me 1 second.
I'm just gonna go and sit at the side, just like, oh god, this could have gone better.
I tried to talk to him.
We did, I know. He's just being a stubborn git.
For once, this is not my fault.
No, it's mine. I do apologise.
If you just make another sense motive check.
I'll try it, because I've got +5 as well.
Yeah.
I've only got +4, but +4.
There we go.
22 should do it.
Okay, so Solanica, you seem to notice that the dwarf seems to be unkind, under some sort of spell or supernatural influence.
Interesting.
There's something very odd about this. He doesn't seem to be himself right now. Like he's...
Maybe we should give him cognitive reset.
Well, failing that, I think we should just simply knock him out. It's just the quickest course of action.
I think that's what Dan meant. To be honest with you.
I'm a simple person.
There are nicer ways to put it.
Oh no, it's purely medicinal. But I'd rather speak in plain terms and rather try and be subtle.
Okay, so he makes his way towards you, and he grabs hold of you by the scruff of your neck.
As soon as he does, the Phoenixian attacks.
Also grabbing him off.
The Phoenixian goes for a full attack and he's out to kill. So,
as you start to do that, the town guard do arrive and catch you in the act and say, "What the hell are you doing? Arrest that girl! You madam have been charged with attempted murder, and you'll be spending a night or several in the cells before you're tried, and possibly even executed."
Yeah,
Wait.
I won't let that part out.
What?
Can I attempt to diplomacy who appears to be the leader of the
Yeah.
patrol?
You can.
I pull him aside and say, Look, my friend, you can see that I'm a paladin of Pelor, so I clearly cannot lie to you. We were merely here attempting to do what Captain Skellerang instructed us to do, and this dwarf attempted to attack my friend.
We
Okay, diplomacy. You need to make your diplomacy roll.
We would never willingly harm a citizen of Cauldron.
I'm sure the Church of Pellar wouldn't, but it wasn't you that was attacking the dwarf. I mean, look at him. He's only got one eye.
I was attempting to pull the dwarf off her. I take personal responsibility for this attack.
no.
Then
What
you
I- it's
too
what I
will be
do.
coming with it.
Alright, come on then,
Having
Dane,
never
let's go
been-
get rested.
Taran can't answer.
Sorry for this,
Borgor
Robin.
presents his symbol of Moradin, points towards the dwarf, and
She can see
utters,
herself.
"By the power of Moradin, I command you to comply." I use the command spell. He gets a saving throw.
He falls under your command. At your word, and starts to looks visibly relaxed. It seems to be interfering with whatever is going on with him.
Right, and just tell us what compulsion he's under, so that we can aid him.
Unfortunately, he can't tell you. He doesn't know himself. He just knows that
I
not
take this,
all of his actions are his own.
I take at this point both me and Wellman have been took away.
Yes.
Just taking us outside. There we go. That's another fine mess we got us into, Wellman.